What's up, everyone? I am Betty Dots, and I am here with another tier list of fighting game music. So we got the new game, the fresh game, the Melty Blood Type Lumina just came out. We're very excited about it. I've been playing a lot of Melty Blood Type Lumina since it just came out, and I've been enjoying every second of the music, right? I feel like this is a series that is known for a lot of things, but I think one of the main things that people recognize and accept about Melty Blood is that the music slaps every second. So I was really excited to play this game, but I was also really excited to see what songs Raito, the composer, came up with this time, because honestly, he's just been killing it every single release. If you don't know Raito, I actually pulled up his website a second ago, and we can look at it right here. In his credentials, he's got Skullgirls soundtrack, amazing. Under Night soundtrack, amazing. It's not here for some reason, but I am 99% sure that he did the music for the original Melty Blood as well, and like all the versions that came afterwards, right? So very, very accomplished composer. Raito, look him up, support him, because I mean he's just really good. He's really good at what he does. But what we're going to be concentrating on today is going to be the Melty Blood Type Lumina soundtrack. Now, I have the keyword down here, and I'm mostly going to be using it to like check a couple of things, right? To make sure that like certain guesses that I have or certain like ideas that I have as to like what the song is doing are right, but I'm not going to be like completely analyzing the songs today. I have heard them fighting people before, but I haven't paid that much attention to them, so this would be a little bit like, you know, reacting to them, actually listening to them with a little bit more intent, and just seeing how they fit inside of this big old tier list. So if you've ever wanted to see a music teacher ranking all of your favorite Melty Blood Type Lumina songs in a tier list, if you've ever had that desire in your life, you've come to the right place. Again, I am Betty Dots, and hey, this YouTube channel is just starting up. I really appreciate the support that y'all had after the Guilty Gear Strive music tier list, but we're growing, right? We're growing little by little, so if you like, hit that like, if you hit that subscribe, that helps me a bunch to try to grow it a little bit more and get more videos out there. We have an editor now, right? So we're trying our best. We're trying our best to make this stuff be as high quality as possible and make it be as helpful for you as it can be, right? One thing about the Melty Blood Type Lumina soundtrack is that usually fighting game soundtracks are going by character, right? They're going by character themes, right? Each character is going to have a different theme. That's not going to be the case for Melty Blood. In Melty Blood, we're really looking at music stages. So this happens in some fighting games as well. It's not as common, right? But just be aware, which the stages have some very dramatic names. You'll see them in just a second. But hey, let's go ahead and get started. All right, y'all. So we're going to be listening to the music from all the stages in the game. Now, I've got all sound effects off. I've got all voices off, so we'll be able to like hear this very well. We're going to pick a couple random people, and we're going to hit the first stage. The first stage is called The Gathering of Old Blood. So we're going to put that on, and we're going to listen to it and see what we think about it. By the way, the character select screen, we're not going to be ranking it because it's not one of the stages. This is so good. Too good. Too good. But let's see what's going on here. This music's really good too, right? When they're queuing up the battle. So these are short loops, so we'll like let them loop and listen to them and see what's going on. The Gathering of Old Blood. This has like main theme vibes, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of... What key is this in? They might be an A minor. Oh man, that's such a beautiful guitar lead. Yeah, it's an A minor. You got just some classic chord changes. All the chords are being taken care of by a palm muted guitar, kind of just chugging along. Beautiful textures. I think the drums, the electronic drums are working really well. Woo! A little piano lead. All right, so the B section is taken by the piano. Oh, wow. Oh, that's so good. Oh my god, another lead? Yes! So you got a little C section with a much more active guitar lead. So you have a conversation between the guitar and the piano. It's like really, really pushing it forward. This is the same chord progression as the A section, though. At least from as far as I can tell. You kind of cut up the palm muted rhythm. It gets bigger and bigger. And we're back to the A section, right? That is so nice. That is so nice. The way that it loops, the way that it comes back. We can't hear the intro again in the loop, which is a little disappointing, but I mean, that's short and sweet, very nice. All of these are going to be pretty short, right? As you can see, this stage is like kind of like the Tono Mansion during the day, right? You can see the daylight kind of coming from the window. So, again, it's called Gathering of Bold Blood. I don't know exactly why. Melty Blood lore is a little beyond me. One thing I do want to do really quick, one of my favorite things about this song, this is truly one of the best songs in the game, I think. It's like really doing such a good job at it. I'm going to just change the character so that it starts the song again. And pay attention to how the intro starts so blown up, kind of like this piano section. And then it just closes up into that palm muted guitar in such a neat, very pleasing way. Let's hear it. I'm going to load the stage again. It's so big. You see, it's big. This kind of feels like a Sonic song, actually. But when the melody comes in, it's big here. And it closes it up so nicely, right? It's just a very neat, like, contrast from the very loud intro into this, like, very cool and collected sort of palm muted A section. I can't find anything that I don't like in this song, honestly. I think it's just doing such a good job at doing exactly what it needs to be doing. I really like it. I kind of want to see what the B section is doing. It's doing so many like little secondary dominants, and it kind of changes down, right? It's a chord progression that is very active, that it doesn't let you rest, right? It's just adding tension, keeping that momentum going. And that paired with this like kind of like blasting pace, this is really, really sick. Really sick. A perfect combination of like rock and jazz, which I think is like what makes Raito be such a good composer. It's just like being able to like marry those two styles so well. Yeah, I mean, I guess we gotta rank this somewhere. I have half a mind to put this in S tier. Let's see. I'm gonna be listening to like character select music while I rank them because I really like this song. A tier, S. God, it might be S. We'll put it in A for now. I think The Gathering of Bold Blood is one of the best songs in the game. It feels like a main theme. It kind of makes a lot of sense that it is like the first stage that is listed in the soundtrack. Which, by the way, you can just go on the gallery in this game and you can listen to all of these songs by themselves. But I wanted to like look at the stages while we listen to them, just so we can make a connection between them. All right, A tier for Gathering of Bold Blood. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see. The second one is called Glowing Mansion. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I like messed up. So this is so confusing. So Gathering of Bold Blood is not the mansion during the day. Is the mansion at night or in the evening or in the afternoon or something? Or is Glowing Mansion at night? That might be the moon. Okay, I think Glowing Mansion is at night. All right, let's listen to Glowing Mansion. All right, so it's a day. A lot cuter. Oh, this is pretty. Classic string melody from Raito. He loves to do that. Or like combine string melodies with like guitar or something else. Oh, that's cute. So they're both in A minor. Nice little halftime sort of situation here. A little underwhelmed by those drums, to be honest. I don't think... They almost feel like they have less punch. Like, obviously they have less punch than Gathering of Old Blood, but it's like... This part is really nice. This A section is wonderful. The acoustic guitar in the back is really working out. It makes it feel really, like, breezy and airy. And it's kind of riffing on the same melodies that Gathering of Bold Blood was doing, right? Which I expect that Raito's going to be doing with some of these like dual stages where you have night and day. Oh, this is nice. Nice little bridge here. Yeah, it's very hopeful, very nice. Definitely feels like daytime. It's not very intrusive. Very nice for fighting too, right? It like gives you like a nice little atmosphere whenever you're fighting. Okay, we're breaking it down a little bit. Is it gonna loop back? Yeah, it just loops right back. That little piano at the end is very cute. So this is definitely an A minor, which is kind of cool, right? So right there you can see he's doing Gathering of Old Blood and Glowing Mansion are both the same plays, but at different times of the day. He does them in the same key, right? And he's not even doing the like cheesy thing of like, oh, the daytime is an A major and the nighttime is an A minor. No, they're both an A minor, but just used in different ways. Kind of reinforcing that idea that something being minor doesn't necessarily mean it's sad, right? It doesn't necessarily mean it's like dramatic, right? It just means that that's what it is. This is very pretty, very nice. A little underwhelmed by the halftime drums, I will say that. But I mean, all the instruments are doing exactly what they need to be doing. Again, I'm a big fan of the acoustic guitar in the back. The little scratches are really making it feel very airy, very flowy for me. Which makes a lot of sense for this game, right? Because you're flying around so much. It's just like definitely inspires that sort of idea. All right. I'm feeling happy about that. I'm not mind blown by it or anything like that, but it's pretty good. It's nice though. It's nice. I'd say it's doing its job, and because it's doing its job, I was thinking C, but this might be a B. This might be a B, and it might end up being like a low B. Yeah, so if I was gonna rank it anywhere, I think it would be like in B. It's between C and B, but I think it's more of a low B than it is a high C. It just feels kind of weird putting it right underneath, oh god, The Gathering of Old Blood or whatever it's called, because that's such a good song. Let's put it in B, and then we'll see if it like drops down a little bit. We'll put a pin on that. We'll put a pin on that. All right, let's move on to the next one. So I think the next stage, we're not in the mansion anymore. Now we're in like the courtyard of the mansion or something. It's called The Promised Day. By the way, the song names have the same names as the stages, right? So the stage is called The Promised Day. The song is called The Promised Day. Let's go ahead and give it a listen. The Promised Day. Okay. Again, day being a little breezy. Let's go. Oh man, yeah. Let's go. This is good. This is so sweet. So the combination of like strings and guitar, I mean guitar is strings, but you know, bowed strings, like I think it's like a viola, and guitar at the same time, doubling that melody, not even harmonizing, but in unison. That's beautiful. We just, oh, little triplet sort of hit there. Oh, new instrument pops in the bottom, right? Still unison, right? No need for harmonies. That's an interesting thing that like good composers do, right? Sometimes you don't need to harmonize a melody. Sometimes you just need another instrument playing it as well, right? I mean, everything about this is very nice. It definitely feels like you stepped outside versus, you know, oh yeah. And you got the little like celesta in the back, harpsichord, I don't know what that is. This song is like immensely layered. You didn't have to have a C section with electric guitar, right? It could have just worked on its own. That's beautiful. You got the little Spanish guitar there. Oh, it's a whole section. And then it just brings you back to a loop. Wow. What a tough one. This one's good. You see, with Melty Blood, I have a thing where I like really like the quiet songs, right? I think that like Raito's really good at like doing a chill, normal, kind of like, I mean, it is a little bit of like a visual novel sort of song, right? But they do it so well. And communicating the space, right? Which is why I like that these songs are like based on stages. The Glowing Mansion felt a little contrived and a little bit tiny, but once you step outside of the mansion, you end up with this beautiful music in the daytime. The arrangement is impeccably put together. I think, again, the viola or whatever it is with the acoustic guitar playing the melody together is fantastic. This low voice, an octave lower. That's another guitar just playing an octave lower. So classic sort of situation. Octave guitar, right? Wes Montgomery. And again, I just want to listen to this electric guitar C section again. So nice. Oh, you got the little walk down with the bass. It's doing like a... That's nice. It's an F minor, which is crazy. All of these songs have been in minor keys, but this doesn't sound, again, it's like that same idea, right? They always tell you, minor sounds sad, minor sounds scary, major sounds happy, right? I wouldn't say this sounds sad or scary, but it is in a minor key, right? Which is something that's like kind of working towards that. All right, so it is an F natural minor. I wanted to see if it was in a different mode of like minor. This is one of my favorite songs on the soundtrack. That was so sick. All right, we got to go back. I just want to keep listening to it. I just want that to be the soundtrack of my life. That's so nice. Let's go ahead and rank this. So I think The Promised Day, man, I really like the Gathering of Blood. But The Promised Day just sets up a vibe so well. It's like exactly what it needs to be, exactly the instruments that need to happen. And if you were missing the heavy guitar, it gives it to you at the very end, right? Which is just such a nice little tease right there. I think this is an S tier song. I think this is very representative of what Raito likes to do as a composer. It does it in like the most elegant, very nice way. Sometimes fighting games struggle with that, right? Think like Akuma's theme in Street Fighter V, where it's like this like dubstep, wub 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 sort of deal, right? Sometimes fighting game composers struggle with elegance, and I think that like this song is a perfect show of elegance. I think this is an S tier song. We'll see what happens, but at this point, this is my favorite one so far. But anyway, let's move on to the next song. So now we got the same Courtyard that we were at, but at night. Now, remember, they were doing something with the keys before, where both of the mansions were in A minor. This is an F minor. Is Sleepless Lamp an F minor as well? I guess we'll see. All right, Sleepless Lamp. This is a Courtyard at night. Let's see what happens here. Oh, yeah, true. Weird. So this is not an F minor, but it's an E minor. All right, so you got a little bit of more EDM sort of. We know this melody, right? Oh, man. So the little like bass pattern, or I'm sorry, the little string pattern that's happening underneath, I think it's doing its work perfectly. The string melody is beautiful. The EDM drums are like punching hard, right? Kind of keeping it all together. This is a string song, right? And we're at night. We're at the Tono estate. We're like walking around at night. Kind of sounds like you're running away from something. So the B section is getting a little bit bigger. Just by a little bit, right? It seems like the strings underneath are trying to like grow with it a little bit. It's very nice. I love the melody in the A section is impeccable. Does it just loop right there? Kind of an awkward loop there, right? Oh, this is kind of weird. All right, here we have our drums again. It kind of has like a drum and bass sort of deal, right? Was that the loop? Okay, the loop was kind of awkward, I will say. I mean, this melody is doing so much work, right? So I could talk shit, but like this melody is really, really, really strong. I wish, you know, all the other songs we had like very surprising C sections, right? Like new bridges, new sort of sounds coming in. I think the one thing that I'm missing from this song is a little bit more development, right? It seems like they've got their vibe down and they're doing a good job at the vibe, right? But there's not really that much more happening than that. And so what's happening is really good, but I mean, compared to the other songs, there's not as much work being put in, right? It's good. It's good. I wouldn't say it's bad at all. Not my favorite, though. Let's go ahead and rank it. So Sleepless Lamp, again, pretty decent song. I don't know. I think there's better in the soundtrack. I think it, like, could do a little bit more. I think you could, like, have a section with a different instrument or something, or just, like, a little bit more development. It's, like, by itself, it's, like, really good, but then compared to the other songs, it seems like all the other songs are, like, working so hard to, like, keep you on your toes that it really isn't doing as much. I still think that melody leaves it at B, but I think it might be a low B. I'll have to see, right? Between these two, I don't know which one's higher, but it was good. It was good. That melody's beautiful. But I mean, listen to like this training. This is just like picking your characters like. There's so many sounds, so many things happening, right? It's just like the hyperactive nature of the Raito soundtracks, I think, is what makes them special. And I think I was missing a little bit of that in the Sleepless Lamp. So it just felt a little like unidimensional, right? Like it didn't have that many layers to it. All right, well, that was pretty good. Let's move on to the next one. Momentary Visitor. So this seems to be the school at day, right? So this is the school during the day. It's called Momentary Visitor. Let's go ahead and listen to it and see what we think. Okay. A little bit of slower pace. I really like that synth. All right, C minor. This fucking melody is so good. This is so nice. I want to drive. I want to be driving right now to this song, right? Oh my gosh. It's like synth and piano at the same time. Beautiful like layers there. The synth takes over and now the piano's playing the chords. And you see the drums get so much more active. That's what I'm talking about, right? It's like everything's changing, right? It's still the same two instruments, but now they took on different roles, which I think is very special in this song. Yeah, it's a very beautiful B section. And we're back to the A, right? It is in C minor, right? It is. Going to a flat 7. Oh, it's going to like the flat 7 and then going to the major key, going to E flat major. And now we go to E flat. Okay. Does it just like loop like that? It's pretty short. Because this is the same B section as before, right? I'm not sure if it already... Oh yeah, I mean totally. But it feels a little bit more pressing than that, right? Like you're saying that it sounds like, you know, day-to-day visual novel, like your daily life sort of deal. And it does feel like that, but this B section makes it feel a little bit more dramatic. And that's what I was talking about with like the layers, right? Okay, and we're back to here. That was a loop. This intro really sets it up and gets me really excited when the melody comes in. Yeah, it's very strong. And I mean, those layers I think are important, right? Because like Melty Blood is a game, again, I always talk about like people talking about like, oh, Melty Blood has no drip, all this stuff. I think what's interesting about this game is that these characters look very normal, but there's so much more underneath, which is not something that you see in the surface. By the way, I will say, most of the people saying that Melty Blood doesn't have any drip, I would argue that they probably don't know how to dress because a lot of these outfits are fire, right? You don't have to have 15 belts on you to like look good, right? A lot of these fits are like really, really good. Especially like, oh, Kohaku's just a maid, but have you seen her during her super? Have you seen that beautiful dress, right? Maybe we'll do a Melty Blood drip tier list at some point. This is a beautiful song. I like it a lot. I thought it was just gonna like, it just says A section, B section, but I'm not gonna take points out of it for not having a C section. It doesn't have that doesn't make that much sense. And again, I think the like main special thing about this song is that it embodies that sort of like sound of a visual novel of your day-to-day, your characters are doing their daily life, but it hides something underneath. And I think it's the same with like the idea of like, you know, Melty Blood outfits and like Melty Blood is a game about layers, right? About like, this is what's in the surface, but there's also all this stuff, vampires and blood melting, I guess, and like all this stuff going on underneath. And this song kind of embodies that idea. And I think the school is a perfect place to do that. Because usually in like visual novel things, the school is like some weird things are happening in the school, right? I always think of Persona when I think of the school. And this is definitely a very Persona song. All right, well, this is good. This is good. We already like let it loop. So let's go ahead and go back and rank this thing. All right, so I think that, what's it called? The Promised Day or something like that. I think The Promised Day is pretty good. I think it does a very good job. I think I would have it at like... See, the problem if I put it in A is that if I put it in A, the Gathering of the Blood needs to go in S, right? And that might end up happening, but I think we're going to put it in high B. High B because it's better in these two. We might have to put the lamp on C. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. Let's move on. All right, so next up, we got the same school place, but it's going to be in like the afternoon sort of place, like the evening sort of deal. It's called Red Sprouted Memories. So let's see what happens when we're at the school. And mind you, when you're at a school during the day, there's classes. But when you're in the school in the afternoon and in the evening, there isn't, right? So maybe some mysterious things ensue. Let's see what happens with the theme. Red Sprouted Memories. Oh, yeah. Kind of same idea with the empty drums and the synths at the beginning. Okay. A lot more relaxed. Kind of feels like an ending theme or something, right? But still very synth-based. This is Giuna's favorite. It's good. Ooh, those bass hits are nice. Feels a lot emptier than the other songs, but I don't mean that in a bad way. See, I think the noise and the synths is making it feel very airy, like it's breathing really well. And that paired with the like very blunt bass hits, I think is working really well. Still no melody though. Nice little ostinato going on there. It's kind of creating a polyrhythm with like the back, right? There's like a situation going on there. Or like at least a superimposition of meter. It's an interesting song because it's very low key, right? I think that like Raito's compositions are usually very melody driven. But all you have here is like a little motif repeating on both sections. So I would call this my A section with the synth taking over with that very repetitive sort of motif. And the nice bass, a nice airy synth pads. And then the B section just has this piano motif. Oh no, C section. Okay. Again, very simple melodies on this one, which is very unlike Raito. Well, not necessarily, right? That's not what you usually hear. Those arpeggiators in the back are beautiful. It's that little arpeggiator statement at the end, then you half-time it back into the A section. So at halftime, it's that like kind of like slower drums, but that aren't really slower. They're just grabbing the same tempo and cutting it in half. And then you bring it back to regular time. It's pretty good. I would say like it has a lot of personality because a lot of the other songs are very much about being overblown, and this one's about being a little bit more understated. Which like if the school was at night, that wouldn't feel right. But since the school is in the afternoon, I mean, this does feel like getting out of school, right? Like walking back home sort of deal. So it's like working with the setting really well. All right, so it's nowhere near in C minor. It's like an F sharp minor, I think. Notice that none of these songs have been in a major key, right? Every single one is in a minor key, which is an interesting thing to like think about. Yeah, this is very nice. This is very nice. It's different. I like the instrumentation a lot. I like the fact that both school songs are very synth-based. They both have the very like empty drums intro with a little bit of synth, and then the texture gets filled up by, you know, kind of like quieter synths. Every melody in the song is very understated. It's just like very motif-based, right? Which that's the one thing that like turns me off a little bit. I wish there was a much more, especially like in this C section. If they had grabbed this C section and thrown like a nice melody at me to like wrap it all up, that would have been good. I really do like that arpeggiator though. It's good. It's good. It's a very good song. I think this one's gonna make me rethink a couple of things in the tier list, but let's go ahead and rank it. So this is called the Red Sprouted Memories, right? Very melancholy, very like understated, kind of like classy, elegant, like we were saying before. I think it's pretty good. I don't think it beats the School During the Day. I think I like the School During the Day a little bit better. I do think they're pretty close together, and I think it beats the Glowing Mansion. Does it? Yeah, I think it beats the Glowing Mansion, and perhaps I'll do this just for reference, because this is getting a little crowded, I'm going to put these two down here in C, because I do think these two are better, but I'm going to have to like rethink this a little bit. These are not going to stay in C, but we're going to like, again, like with Sleepless Lamp, it's a really, really solid melody, really iconic, but there's like just not that much going on with the song, so it'd be like irresponsible for me to like rank it that much higher, right? Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Respirated Memories is very good. Giuna, if that's your favorite, good taste. All right, let's move on to the next one. What do we got next? Rainy Moon. So this is like, I don't know what this place is. It's kind of like some sort of gazebo sort of tower. It might be like a courtyard in the mansion or something like that. I don't know. I haven't played Tsukihime. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, this is Rainy Moon. So this plays at night, right? I think this is night. Yeah. Okay. Some electric guitar. We haven't heard that in a second. So it's in B minor. Yeah, okay. So this definitely has like kind of like much stronger like anime vibes with the electric guitar. This is a fight, right? This is fighting music. Oh, this is nice. Like the sustain. Oh, they're doing like little volume swells with the guitar combined with the synths. Very nice textures going on in this one. Yeah, I don't know what this place is. Maybe some crazy like lore head knows about it already. Ooh. Oh, I love this section. So you got that synth, really high synth, playing at the same time as the guitar. A lot of unison melodies, like instruments playing exactly the same melody at the same time. All right, we go back to the A section. You got that same contrast that we saw in the first song, right? In the Gathering of the Old Blood, where like this part is like loud, but it's also very like controlled, very palm muted and tiny. And it contrasts with this, which is a lot louder. Oh, we got a guitar solo. Let's go. That guitar solo, I think, is very representative of how Raito composes, let's say, versus Daisuke, right? Because Daisuke guitar solos are very shreddy, very intense, right? But Raito, in the end of everything, is a very lyrical composer. What does lyrical mean? Lyrical essentially means that melody is your main concern. Like having a melody that's catchy and that you like and that you want to listen to and that you get stuck in your head. And I think that solo was really trying to be very melodic, very lyrical, instead of being super shreddy. There was some shredding, but you know what I mean. Yeah, this is perfect for this place, I think. I mean, I guess, I don't know what happens here, but I guess something intense happens here because the intensity got cranked up quite a bit. Yeah, it's very good. It's not like super intense. It doesn't have a bunch of sections, all that stuff. It's pretty simple in its form, but it's very effective. And it's that sound that we love, right? That sort of like Dragon Ball sound, that like very intense, like, you see, it's a very melodic solo. It's relying on motifs even when it's shredding. It's not blowing my mind, I will say, but it's a very nice melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, that like little melody, it's like important to point out that it's in 6/4, right, instead of in 4/4. That's why it feels kind of awkward and pressing. It's like bam bam ba da bam ba da bam. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam bam ba da bam ba da bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam bam. It's nice. It's a 6/4 is kind of like a weird variation of like 4/4 where you're adding 2 extra beats. Not the same as 6/8. I could probably talk about that in a different video. I'm not going to go too hard into that right now. But it's nice. It's nice and creative. Is it better than the school theme? Than either of the school themes? It might be better in this one, honestly. I wouldn't say it's like, yeah, I'd say it's between the 2 school themes, like in the B tier. It's very nice. God, this one's so good. Oh, by the way, I guess we weren't able to see it. I'll place it again. All right, where is this one gonna go? It's gonna go between the 2 school themes. Sorry, I wasn't showing the screen at that point. Can I like add a new? We don't have an image for it, but this is character select. Oh my God. It's so good. We don't have an image for it, but that goes up there. Jesus, this song is so good. Okay, so I think now we have that same like weird gazebo place, but we have it during the day. The Midday Coincidence. All right. Sunshine. Very nice guitar intro. Oh yeah, this one's so good. This kind of has a little bit of like a Disaster of Passion sort of vibe, right? With like the piano and the kind of like metal guitar in the back, but then like the very nice piano melody on top. I think this might be the first song in a major key. Oh, key change. Guitar takes over for the key change. Piano's not even there. Oh man, that's so pretty. Yeah, this is good. I love when they have like this is kind of like the opposite of the first song, right? Where like where it was piano then guitar then, or it was guitar then piano then guitar. Here's piano then guitar then piano. All right, so this is an E flat major, which has nothing to do with F sharp minor. I mean, a little bit to do, but not really. Oh, but the B section is an F sharp major, right? So it has a little bit of a riff on the other one, the other like Gazebo song. Yeah, it's very pretty. This feels like a One Piece opening. I think that's why I like it so much. That drum fill to get the loop back in. Yeah, I think one thing that I really like about fighting game music is when fighting game music combines very heavy rhythm section with very nice, clean melody at the top, right? And that's exactly what this is doing. It's doing it very well. The A section and the B section are in different keys, which kind of like adds to like that sort of intensity, and they're keys that are not very related to each other. So you feel that key change quite a bit. I mean, no complaints here. I think it's a very pretty song. It might be one of my favorites. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's one of my favorites for sure. That's nice. That's very nice. It's also very well performed. It seems like all the instruments are working together very well. All right, so what was this called? Oh my god, the Midday Coincidence. I think the Midday Coincidence, you know, it's so similar to the Gathering of the New Blood that I want to put it in A, but I don't think it beats the Gathering of the New Blood for one simple reason, and it's the fact that the Gathering of the New Blood is doing a very similar thing. These are completely different songs, right? Like, I know that, but they're doing very similar things, and the Gathering of the New Blood even has a C section that is like, oh wow, where'd that come from, right? And I think that like kind of like unexpected sort of situation makes it really good. Yeah, big fan. Midday Coincidence was really good. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. For our next song, we have The Fountain. It's called the Plaza at Dawn. Let's see. Oh yeah. This is your city song, right? I'm a sucker for this shit. Woo! That's nice. Notice the drum beat, right? It's a very relaxed song, but the drum beat is working really hard, but doing it very quietly. That like little funk guitar going on in the back with the wah-wah. So nice. Woo! Yeah, this was so good. Yeah, I forgot about that. The little sustain note at the top, the dive bomb. Love the rhythm guitar. Oh, now the A section's coming in again, but I think a synth is doubling the melody now, right? So that adds a new layer of sound to it. This is good. I really like, in anime games, I really like the city song, right? Like, I think it's called Tokyo Daylight in Persona 5. One of my favorite video game songs ever made, right? The boom, bam, 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 bam. You know that one? Okay, new section, little bridge. Again, this is like, it's the same as like the school one where it has this like layer of drama. It was really relaxed, and now it feels like something's going on, right? Ooh. Oh man, they end that section with such a nice set of chords kind of ascending like that. So this is an A minor. Yeah, this might be an ECS, y'all. Honestly. You see how this A section, they don't develop it that much, but they add that new layer of sound to the melody, and it feels more important, right? And it's a perfect segue for you to get to the C section that starts to insert a little bit of drama in there. Still an A minor, so no key change there. Oh, and it resolves to the A major at the end of that section, right? I think that's adding to that drama. Yeah, I mean, and here you can hear when the loop comes in, you can hear that rhythm section just working so hard. Very understated bass, very active drums. Beautiful song. Beautiful song. This might be my favorite so far, honestly. This is a really good one. It's got those Persona vibes that I like really like. I think it beats the Courtyard one. God, I can't remember the name of all these songs. Why the names have to be so complicated? All right, so I think this is top of Ez. I think this might be the best one so far. I think we need a new tier for this one, honestly. I think this was better than, like, considerably better than what we have heard so far. But S for slick, you know? Because that one's just too slick. It's too cool. Can we change the color on it? We're going to make that one pink. Oh, so slick. Yeah, baby. Let's move on to the next one. Destiny's Entrance. So stuff is starting to get a little bit more intense. I think this is like the Backstreets, right? Okay. It's getting real now. Kind of feels like crime. Nice heavy drums. That like kind of electric guitar synth sort of situation. Okay, so the intensity's there. Definitely goes with the setting perfectly. They add a little synth at the top. I'm wondering how much more they're going to do with it. That's what I'm wondering right now, I think. Oh, this sounds exactly like a Persona 5 song. With that little bass line at the bottom. It's similar to School in the Afternoon where they're not... Oh yeah, that organ is Persona. Not a lot in the way of melody, right? 1 second. So it's like setting up the vibe really well, but it's not really doing that much melody-wise. Okay, little key change here. With a much more... I guess a little bit more melodic, but still not that much in terms of a statement of melody. Yeah, so I appreciate the vibe, and I think it's like going really well with the stage, but it doesn't feel like it's doing that much. That key change kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah, so I appreciate how well it fits with the stage, but I don't know like how much I like it. Like as a song, like as a composition, it just feels kind of like lukewarm. It just feels like this is like the kind of music that you would like, if you were in a visual novel, this would be like when you're like mashing through text, right? That you already saw or something like that. But the atmosphere is right. Yeah, this part's cool. But again, it's just very derivative of Persona 5 without really doing that much else. It's in G minor, by the way, if that like helps you. I want to see where it modulates in the C section. It's still in G minor. It's just going to... Okay, so it just hit the relative major. Okay, it's fine. It's not the best I've heard. I think honestly it's like kind of like the most boring I've heard so far. And because the soundtrack is so good, it might just make sense to like put it at the bottom. Yeah, I think this one goes in D. I mean, if we hear something that's like truly bad, we'll put something underneath it. But I think that this goes in D because this is kind of weak, you know? Just a little bit weak. Let's go ahead and move on. So we're at the point where like the songs get a little bit darker. Tomorrow's Collapse, which is this like collapsed, destroyed city at daylight, but it's a scary daylight. It's kind of like an orange daylight. So let's check out what that sounds like. Okay, just very quiet beat here. I'm low-key a little bit of a sucker for drum and bass. This is nice. Okay. Isn't this like the same melody as one of the other songs as the Gathering of the Old Blood? Woo! Nice. Oh, that's cool. I think it is, right? This melody sounds very familiar. Yeah, this is definitely a battle sequence, right? So it's very intense. I think what I really like about this is that the drums are pumping, but they're quiet, and everything underneath, there's like a bass drone, but everything's so quiet that the melodies feel so important. They're huge. And now the rhythm section builds back up. And now the guitar and the piano are kind of fighting for space, right? That's been a theme that we've been like seeing in some of these. This is cool. That's a Chrono Trigger motif. What are those? Wow. You hear those like roars in the back? This is cool. Really good fighting game music, right? This like gets me ready to fight. But this is what I'm saying, like this melody's so quiet, but since the drums are so understated, feel it, right? I feel it right inside of me. Especially this riff. This riff comes in hard. His use of space is really good, right? Because usually with metal riffs, you're chugging the whole time. The whole like bum-bana, and stop, and then come back to the riff. I wonder if he studied jazz. He has a lot of like, sort of like jazzy tendencies. Yeah, it's a completely different style than the other songs, but he does it really well. He's doing a really good job with the song. It gets me so, yeah. And then this B section, like this is the thing about tension and release. If you have a song that's like down here the whole time, just like kind of pumping down here, and then you open it up in the bridge, it's like, yes. Like, thank you, Raito. Thank you for giving it to me, you know? Really good song. Definitely works with the atmosphere. It's so tense. It's just, that was good. That was good. I'm going to call that one. We're going to see where we put it. I think for tomorrow's, oh my God, tomorrow's destruction, whatever it's called. Why are these names so hard? So I don't think it's better than this. This one was really good too. That's the one that sounds like a disaster fan. I think this is A, but it's low A. That was very good, very different. I like the variation in style, right? That not all the songs are the same. And you know, with this one, the Backstreets, I'm just gonna call them by the plates. The one from the Backstreets was variation. It was different, but it was very underwhelming. This one's different than the rest of the soundtrack, but it does it in a way that's like very, very appropriate and very inspiring. I thought that was really nice. All right, let's move on to the next one. We're almost done here. We got Permafrost, which is that same wreck, I think, but a lot worse, and it's at night. So let's see what Permafrost seems to be kind of referring to Vlov's abilities, right? His, like, ice abilities. Anyway. Big drum fill. Right, we got the nice mellow riff. Kind of demonic sort of situation there. It's cool. Kind of octave doubling of the melody right there. Is it just gonna repeat that like same motif over and over? Do we get a melody on top or something? Little halftime there. Okay, so it just seems to be gravitating. It's an E minor because that's kind of what you would do with a metal song because you want to chug on the open E string. I think what I don't like is that it's just going back to a 1 chord a lot. Like this part is just very standard. It's just going from E to G, or A and then G and then E. Which just is something I've heard so much in rock before, right? All right, nice little key change, right? All right, so now we're in B. Oh. Now we're in C, so we're even bumping it up further. And it definitely comes up with it. That's nice. I don't like how the melodies are very repetitive is my only problem, right? Outside of like just always going back to the one chord. Yeah, so my first impression of this is that it's objectively pretty good. Okay. This is probably just a loop, right? A little drum break. Sounds kind of funny with the drums by itself because they're electronic. Yeah, and then the loop's kind of awkward. Yeah, the thing about this is that it's like objectively pretty decent, but when I listen to Raito soundtracks, I'm expecting something special. And there's nothing about this that feels particularly special. And the loop is so short and the song is so static that I feel like if I heard this for a very long time, like if I ended up like practicing in this stage and I just heard this for a very long time, I'd get tired of it very quickly. It's fine, I'm not a huge fan though. I do like that this like bridge where it goes to B right here. So this is the B. Oh, but it's like B major sort of situation. Again, I'm like already bored of it, right? So I think that's like kind of like the point that I'm trying to make. I think this one is like, for similar reasons as the Lamp one, I think it's right under the Lamp one. The Sleepless Lamp. Because at least the Sleepless Lamp has that like iconic melody to it, right? I feel sad about putting it in C. We'll figure that out. Is it here or is it... You know, I think one thing that we need to do here, what color do you make the worst tier? There we go. And yeah, so I think the Backstreets goes in F and this one goes in D is the way that I'm feeling about it right now. Yeah, I think this is like a D tier one. It's just kind of, again, listening to the soundtrack, I really like the jazzy stuff. I really like the jazzy plus rock stuff. The rock stuff alone seems to be a little underwhelming, at least in my opinion. All right, let's move on to the next one. We only got a couple more to go. All right, Moonlit Altar. Let's see what's going on in here. All right, very quiet. I really like the sound design of the noises around. The breeze. All right, nice strings, kind of bringing it in. 4 on the floor, which is surprising for this kind of theme. 4 on the floor is when you got that kick hitting on every beat like this. You have the guitar and the strings. You got a dancey sort of beat. But it gets a little bit more rock oriented, even though it still has those EDM sort of drums. Back to A minor, which was the same as the Mansion. Yeah, it's got like a disco beat, which is it's very bizarre for this sort of place, but it's kind of nice. Yeah, it's definitely Final Battle, but definitely the disco beat kind of throws me off of that a little bit. I think in a good way. Okay. Nice little voice synths for this sort of like bridge. Yeah, I like this beat. The hats on the ants, right? To keep that disco sort of sound in there. Oh. I like this. Yeah, in terms of Final Battle theme, I think it does a good job of being a Final Battle theme in a Melty Blood game, right? You double the melody again. Keep the intensity going. And then you come back to these strange... I really like these noises. Feels very surreal, right? Yeah, the combination of like intense strings plus disco, or not disco, like house music sort of like beat is nice. I think it being an A minor at the same time that the Mansion is an A minor, I wonder if this place is near the Mansion or like underneath the Mansion or something like that. Yeah, it was great. Perfect for fighting your arch nemesis and also for going out to the club. We love it. I think the Moonlit Altar This was the one that like was kind of good with the airy. It's like I want to say it goes past B for me in particular. I think I really like this school one. This one was fine. Oh no, this one was pretty good. I want to say it beats this. I mean, maybe it's like top of C. Looking at these, yeah, maybe it's top of C. Yeah, I think I'm between like top of C, bottom of B. Especially because the Daylight Mansion one is really good. And it's still in C, right? That kind of goes to show how good the soundtrack is, right? The competition is fierce, but I think it's going to be bottom of B. Because it has a lot of personality, right? I think he tried something out that was kind of weird, and it worked out okay for him. It worked out pretty good. All right, the last stage that we're going to be looking at is going to be the training stage. The training stage, if any of y'all did the tutorial or did the mission mode, you'll know the training stage is pretty sick from what I remember. We're going to check it out and see what we think of it. Need I say more? Oh my god. The guitar work on this is impeccable. This is so... That melody's so tough. And you got the like... the scratchy guitar in the back. I want to learn that. Woo! You got those sort of like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 sort of brass going on. Yeah, and what you're saying is true, right? Like the fact that this is a training stage music is really important because like I would never get tired of this, right? And you get every flavor. Here you have like your more metal guitar. But you still got that like little that like little clean guitar that's going on in the back. You have all of those layers working together. The bass and the drums are holding it the fuck down. Like they're working so hard to keep this together. It's an E minor. I was just curious. Nice little guitar lick here with the wah. This is very slick. This might go in slick tier, honestly. The layer of the two rhythm guitars working together right here. There's no bass, so, I mean, you need someone taking care of that rhythm. Did the bass completely drop out? Come back here. Oh, there's the bass. Oh, that's nice. You drop out the bass for a couple of sections just to bring it right back. And that keeps it active, right? I think Raito is really about his layers. He really likes different layers in his song, and he likes playing around with which one's there, which one isn't. Again, this Marvel vs. Capcom 2 trumpets are doing all the work in the world for me. This section right here, it's a very repetitive song. It's all over the same chord, right? Very modal, very static. But since you don't have chord changes, you have other instruments coming in, coming out, weaving in and out. And that keeps the funk going. And when that bass comes back in at the beginning of that loop, I think it's like very, very, very powerful. Training Stage, funnily enough, right? This is not usually the case, but the Training Stage is one of the best songs in the game. Might be at the very top, honestly. And it's slick as fuck, right? So it makes perfect sense to put it in the slick tier. I still think... who wins, the Plaza or the Training Stage? All right, so I'm going to put the Training Stage. I'm thinking like at the bottom of Slick, Character Select still wins. Right? I think at the bottom of Slick, right? And I was thinking of putting this over here. Yeah, I mean, I also don't know if like this is pretty good, but I don't know if it's at the same level as like these two. Because like this one was the one with the very good guitar leads and piano leads, and this one's the one that had like the opposite thing, kind of like One Piece sounding intro. I think we can rearrange a couple of things. I think this can come up to S, and this can come up to S as well. I think this one needs to be an A by itself, and we can bring some stuff to it, right? We can bring this school one to it. That school one was good, though. And this one's really good, too, so we might put this one here. And these ones go on B, and then these ones go on C, and then D, and then F for the boring one that doesn't really do that much. I think that's good. I think this is it, y'all. I think we hit it. All right, so at the top, we have the Plaza, and we have the Training Stage. In S tier, we have the Courtyard at day, and then the Mansion at night, and then the Gazebo during the day. And then on the A tier, you have the Wreck during the day, I don't remember the name of any of these songs already, so this is why I'm doing them like this. The annotations in the video will tell you the names of all the songs, so don't worry about that. In A, we also have the school during the day, and then we also have the gazebo, but at night. In the B section, you have the school in the afternoon, and you have the Moonlit Altar. That was the last one I did, so I remember that name. The glowing mansion, the mansion during the day, is at the top of C, and then you have the courtyard at night is going to be at the bottom of C. Then in D, you have the like very heavy metal, like sort of wreck. I forget what it's called. Permafrost is what it's called. And then in F tier, you have the Backstreets song. That was like really kind of underwhelming. It was kind of boring. Yeah, I think we're going to call it. I'm going to save this. I don't know what you save. Save, I guess. All right, I saved it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out. That was a lot of fun. I think all the music in this game is wonderful. I think that if you haven't bought Melty Blood, give it a chance. Maybe watch some videos, right? I'll probably be putting out some videos on the channel, but give it a shot. It's a really nice game. It's a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I've been enjoying the music quite a bit. Shouts out to Raito. Let's put the boy on the screen. Look at that. Look at that fancy lad. How fancy. With a big old caption. Anyway, thank you so much, Raito. Thank you so much, all of y'all, for watching. And, like and subscribe if you dig it. Thank you for making it so far. And I will see y'all next time.